Look at the world that we live. Look how the evil is grown. All the innocence lost. We need a new beginning, man. The vision is off. We need to rage war. Yeah, we need to rage on. I'm here. War boots, I'm a riot here. No suits, just fights here. Grassroots is the right gear. I'm still fly like a pilot here. Brave hearts never die in fear. I ain't a stranger to the danger. I'ma live and I'm dying here. Yeah. So I'm looking up more. Cause I know what I'm up for. Cause we need a change. And I'm starting an uproar. And nobody can stop us. Yeah, we starting to rock this. Yeah, starting to rock this.
PlayStation.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Naughty Dog live stream, where we talk about the games we love and sometimes the games that we make. My name is Dinah and I'm a web developer here at Naughty Dog. I'm very excited to introduce us to all of the cool games that we're going to be playing and the cool guests we'll be having. And if you're watching on Twitch, please join us on the chat. If you have a question, we have a panel right below, so throw your questions in and upvote the ones you like. We'll do our best to get to as many questions as possible. And as always, we stream on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. So check out our future streams, check out some of our older streams, and we're really, really excited to be joining you today. And with that, just some quick housekeeping. We originally announced the Last of Us Remastered stream. However, due to some scheduling conflicts, we had to reschedule, and we promise we're going to be getting to it. We're just as excited as you are. So stay tuned in our socials, and we will be doing it in the very near future. With that in consideration, today we're going to be playing one of the biggest games of the 2010s. A lot of people have been discussing the best games of the past decade, and one of them is Fortnite. Epic Games made one of the biggest games, and whether you're in the video game community or not, everyone knows Fortnite. So with me today, we're going to be joined by two people who know Fortnite a lot better than I do. Logan from production and Ashley Devane from QA. I'm really excited to have y'all. And how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. My drive wasn't too bad this morning to work.
FYI, Los Angeles, Santa Monica, no matter what, plan an hour ahead. So I'm glad y'all made it.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, LA has traffic.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're known for.
Yeah, that's all we got. Stop moving here.
Yeah.
We're full.
Please. Or just consider
Walk.
the train. Yeah.
Ride your bike.
Consider affording a helicopter to take you everywhere.
Yeah, well, one day we'll have a tunnel. So we're going to be good.
Just one tunnel.
One tunnel.
One tunnel.
And then it's just like everywhere. Regardless. So anyway, today we're playing Fortnite. Logan, I know that you've played in the past. It was like a really social thing. You and your friends would get together, and that's like was a big thing for you for quite some time.
Fortnite was like, I kind of like owe working here to playing Fortnite, honestly. I went through a period of time where I was living in LA, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. And I had a group of friends that I played Fortnite like religiously, sun up, sun down. Non-stop talking, and they were a huge support system for me when I found a job. I worked at Square Enix a few years ago, and now I'm working here. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're in production.
yeah, I work as a production assistant here. I sit in a lot of meetings. I take a lot of notes, and I task manage a lot. Shout out to Jen and Vivian out there probably watching, who are also in production with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get more into the nitty gritty because you have a pretty cool background, as do you, Ashley. So you are in QA, but you do something specifically called systems.
Yep.
What is that?
Systems is pretty much everything in the game. So there's a lot of people who are in QA who are like level POCs, and for me in systems, I play like I am on the whole spectrum of everything in the game. So stuff like like in this game, for instance, when I'm pressing back and forth going between these two characters, does it go back between these two characters? Does it do it right away? Is there a delay? If I press start, does it bring up the menu? Like everything. Does the character jump? Does the character punch? Like things like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's such a broad scope, and I saved
It's
that.
everything.
Yeah, like I purposely saved that question specifically for the stream because I could have asked before. We work in the same building, but it's really cool what you do, and I'm super excited to get to see y'all's perspective on Fortnite because I watched y'all play a little bit earlier, and it was really cool. So should we get started and then start kind of maybe chatting
Yeah,
more
for sure.
about what we do and what we
Let's
like?
do it. Do you want to do duos or do you want to do Rumble? Rumble is the one where like.
It's been a long time since I played. So much
Okay,
has
so
changed.
duos is like serious, we're gonna win. Rumble is more fun. There's respawn, so if you get killed, you respawn again, and then you have a chance to go back
Gotta
in.
respawn?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do the
Do
Rumble? All right, let's
something
do-
that I haven't done before.
Wait, no, it's gone. Oh, wait, no, maybe you can't do Rumble when you're playing on the same system.
No. Okay, let's do
No,
duos.
I'm sorry. All right.
And Ashley,
Rumble would've been fun.
you specifically chose this skin in honor
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
And you'll see my back. I have my little buddy dog too
Oh, man.
in my backpack. You can pet him if you'd like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Good
can
dog
walk
and
over
a
and
naughty
get
dog.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
so
a very important feature.
Can I change my skin, or do I get to play as?
I actually don't know. I'm a basement dweller gamer, so I don't play with people like couch co-op. I don't know how that works.
We're gonna have like the really fun dog, and then me.
I also usually play keyboard mouse because PC Master Race, and so I'm like, I wonder how I'm gonna fare on this.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's also really cool to get to play with the controller. It's a little
Yeah,
change
I mean,
of pace.
I love the PlayStation. I play on a PlayStation every day for
Yeah.
work, so.
And for those of you who are regulars on our stream, you would know that Ashley is Banana Boat. She's the one in the chat.
I'm usually moderating chat, but not today.
So-
Play nice, guys.
Yeah, play nice, please. And you played, I remember the first stream I tuned into of yours was Death Stranding, and now we're watching Fortnite, and you do stream that as well.
I stream. I consider myself like a variety streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I play anything and everything, essentially.
That is really cool.
Yeah. I like to. There's like lots of blogs out there where you can find small indie devs who are just looking for people to like play test their game and like give you free beta codes and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
I try to do that a lot, and then I will stream it and like try to showcase their game. And, yeah.
What's one of your favorite indie games that you've played in recent memory?
Ooh, I wouldn't consider this indie, but like a small time game is Party Hard.
Party Hard?
I love Party Hard. I've partied hard with that game. It is so much fun.
And Logan, indie game that you would ride or die for?
I don't even know if I would call it an indie game anymore, but Life is Strange is like one of the most important games to me, just in general. So I guess it's not very indie anymore.
But it's
We're
like, it's a
jumping.
really important story, and I think at the time it came out, it was massive for how story-based it was, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very similar to the Telltale game structure of narrative choice. And I think the storyline specifically is what was very important to me at the time.
so thank you, Square Enix. We appreciate Life is Strange. That was definitely one I enjoyed.
And Dontnod and Deck 9.
I haven't played Life is Strange. The only game that I've played like similar to that I think is The Wolf Among Us.
Okay.
Because that's the one that's like you kind of like choose, have different paths and everything. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a
Wolf Among
interactive
Us
comic.
is one of my favorite narrative choice games as well.
And 2 was recently announced as well.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that they're gonna continue to make that and finish it.
Yeah, definitely. The Walking Dead one was still my
Yeah.
favorite, regardless. Clementine forever, but Wolf Among Us was really cool, and I really love the art style they used.
Oh yeah, really awesome art and the noir elements.
I do wonder how we're going to do, considering that we don't have headphones, so we don't.
Oh, I have no idea.
We won't
if
be able to
there's
hear anyone
near
trying to
us.
sneak up on us.
That's just like the variety, the spice we need in this stream. A little bit of stealth.
Ooh. Like that.
And so, like, we're kind of going from favorite indie game. A big part of it is that what was the most influential game that made you want to work in video games?
Ooh.
So there's a lot of games. I think like I find it hard to say that like my journey into wanting to work in games starts with one specifically. It was kind of like multiple games added on to making me want to play, and I think it would have started with Bully by Rockstar growing up. I loved that game. At that time, oh, somebody's
No.
shooting.
Yeah, there's someone on the roof over here. I don't have a long-range weapon.
Oh, you're way over there. Okay, well, I'm just gonna run. Sorry to continue answering that question.
Bully.
Bully. I was a big Rockstar fan. I still am a big Rockstar fan. And then Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and then I played The Last of Us when I was in college.
He's right in front of you.
He's right in front of me. Oh,
No, God.
Yeah, I think the like pinnacle at the end was The Last of Us for me.
The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Good call. I mean, like, yeah, I think that it did inspire a lot of people, and a lot of people were super excited about it. And it definitely was one of many games, but one of the few American games that really was story-based, combined amazing gameplay and story. I think we're a little biased on that one, though. We're considering where we are.
Probably a reason that I wanted to work here.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of people say. Like,
Yeah.
Last of Us was so mind-blowing. Even Uncharted, they were just so excited about those games. They're like, Naughty Dog was where I wanted to be. And I guess
Yeah, I
the
love
same for
Uncharted.
you. Like,
It was almost on a whim. No, I actually have a acting entertainment background. I was doing like theater and working in film and TV for like 20 years, and I've always just been a gamer though. That's like been who I am. So I'd go to like set all day for like 12 hours, and then I'd come home and have like maybe 3 days off, because that's how working in film and TV is. I'd just be playing games all day for those. Anytime I wasn't working, I was playing games, and I was like, I always had a passion for gaming and streaming and things like that. And I just hit a point in my career where I was kind of like, where am I going? What am I doing? And I was like, you know, I've done everything under the sun in entertainment, like stand-in, acting, stunts, art department, props. Like, I've literally done everything. I was an assistant for years. And I was like, you know, I've never done video games, which is like a huge piece of entertainment. And I was like, and I love it. Why don't I try to work in video games? So, yeah, I was like, I'm going to just do it. And that's just how I am. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try to just set out to do this. So I applied to 3 different companies that I was like passionate about and games that I've loved. And one of them was Naughty Dog.
that's awesome. Yeah, like it's really cool that you mentioned that, because I have a question from the audience that sort of relays to that. It's, hey guys, what is the best part about your jobs? Now that you're here, now that you were inspired and you applied and now you're here, what is the best part? I'm currently in college for computer science, so I can work for Naughty Dog, which is really cool. That's really awesome to hear.
We're dropping.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like, oh man, that
I'm
horn.
going right in the middle.
So to get back to the question, what is the best part about your jobs?
You want me to start? I think the best part about my job is that I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are really amazingly creative, and I know that's such a cop-out answer, but there's so many people here that are just like so good at what they do that it's like really awesome to be surrounded by people that inspire you. But another part about my job that I really like is that I get a lot of opportunity to listen to the directors talk about the game and hear their opinions, and I think that that's really valid and important to be able to like expand your knowledge of the game and like game development as a whole. So I really like that.
That's awesome. I just love being able to play a game all day. That's, I was already playing a game all day for free. Now I get paid to play a game. It's awesome. And I just love the people that I work with. I love the workflow. I love the opportunities that are here as well. I mean, the training that Naughty Dog gives us is like amazing. And a lot of my friends who work in other video game companies, like, we've talked about certain things that are like, whoa, they taught you that? They taught you, like, I didn't learn that for like 4 years. And like, I had to learn that on my own and stuff like that. So there's stuff about that that I like really appreciate about this company.
Yeah, and I think that was like one of the best and also most intimidating things about being here is you're surrounded by people who are so good at what they do.
Yeah, but there's just lots to learn.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And I think a big part of coming here is you have to learn what every department does to really understand your own job, especially for you two. Logan, being in production, you pretty much interface with every department.
Sorry, Sean, you trained me.
There was also, yeah, like Logan, you rose up from QA and you had.
I did. I started in QA.
Yeah, so you had
Here.
prior experience
And
with
Square Enix.
production. And what's the difference between, so you worked in movie and film and TV, or?
I did. So I went to school in Chicago for film production. And then I ended up interning at Sony Pictures Animation in Culver City here on a film when I was a junior in college. And then after that, I finished up school in Chicago, and then I came out here and I interned with Lionsgate, and I worked on a lot of movies when I was working at Lionsgate. Worked on John Wick 3, and then
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Simple Favor, Spy Who Dumped Me, and a bunch of other ones. And then after that, I got a job at Square Enix in QA, which is where I started my video game career. I worked on Dragon Quest XI when I was there, and then after that was done, I started working here in QA. And then I worked in here in QA for almost a year, and then I moved into production. When I was working in QA here, I was specifically a combat tester.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So I worked with programming a lot.
That's really cool. And like, did you have a role similar to that, or you pretty much learned on the job?
I guess, what do you mean learned on the job?
Well,
Like,
because you did something very specific, which is combat. So,
oh, yeah, okay. So when it comes to testing combat, I had no idea that I was going to do that when I got here. Kat, who is our combat QA lead, she kind of found me and was like, hey, you've got like a knack for this. And I was like, I guess I'm just like good at problem solving when it comes to programming bugs. It can be really difficult to, from like the outside, like just seeing the bug and like deducing like what could be internally wrong with the AI. And I guess, yeah, I just kind of like had a knack for problem solving, and she saw that and nurtured it, and yeah, I became a combat tester.
Yeah, because there's like lots of bugs that like, you could have like 3 bugs and you think they're 3 separate bugs, but they're actually like all a product of the same issue and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's lots of like problem solving you have to do.
Yeah. And when it comes to tech, it's like 99 bugs, but I solved one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you solved
Yeah.
that one and it created 5 more. So
Yeah. And so it's just like you're creating, like, I mean, I think games, when they originally started, were much more straightforward. Now we're dealing with like whole expanses, almost like alternate dimensions. So you're dealing with so many things, and it requires so much problem solving. So it's really cool, especially I think a big thing that I learned was that QA had so many specialties.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just showed a proclivity towards certain things and just really were able to hone in on that. So that's really, really cool. I'm going to take a quick brief from the career questions and ask my burning question that's also in the chat. Is there still a real dog running around at the Naughty Dog headquarters?
No, there isn't, and it's a very upsetting thing. You would think there'd be more dogs at a company called Naughty Dog.
There should be more.
Actually, no.
Oh yeah, no,
Winston.
there is. Sorry, I'm
Wilson.
sorry.
Wilson.
I should.
We do have
Winston.
a magical wizard dog
That's
named
true.
Wilson. Jordan, shout out. Every time I see the dog, poor Jordan has to get delayed because I spend too much time trying to talk to Wilson.
I don't know what I'm doing driving this thing right now.
So, with that quick brief, also another audience question. Did you guys move out to LA for work? Or did you guys get relocated? How did you end up at Night Dog? And were you already in LA?
I'm gonna start.
I came out here with a dream to be a struggling actress. So no, I wasn't here. I moved out here probably 9 years ago, and I've been working in film and TV.
Can
and
you
then
reverse this thing?
I only got this job like in August, so yeah, no, I didn't move here for this job.
I can't go backwards. So we're just gonna do this.
Oh no, you can't. But you can drive on land. The only thing is when you're on land, it takes damage, so it slowly starts to.
Cool.
Well, it's fine.
We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So I moved out to LA. Like I said, I had an internship here my junior year of college. It was a summer internship. And then when I graduated from school in 2017, my current roommate, she was going to be moving out here. And I knew that if I was going to work in LA, I should probably be located in LA. It was going to make it easier for me to find a job. So I said, hey, let's be roommates. We were best friends. Oh, I turned on missiles.
Now you have a speed boost.
How do I get out of this thing?
The unfortunate thing is with a speed boost,
Oh, there we go.
you come to a complete stop when you hit anything, unfortunately.
So I basically rode her coattails out here and said, let's be roommates. And we've been best friends ever since, still are best friends, still roommates. And I ended up finding a job like not even a few months after I moved here with her.
That's really cool to hear.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think for the most part, yeah, I think a lot of people were already in LA and they were searching. It's a lot easier if you're already living here, if we're
It
going
is.
to be honest, but it's not without the realm of possibility.
But yeah, my roommate at the time, she had her company, she works at Respawn. She was relocated by Respawn.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can still get a job in LA without having lived there before.
But it helps.
It does.
It
help.
does
With the
help,
caveat, it helps.
But yeah, you could always relocate.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised I got this job because I felt like my interview went terrible. So like when you apply to a video game company, you could probably expect they're going to ask you what your favorite video game is.
Yeah.
Which I was ready for, but I guess I wasn't ready for follow-ups because I was like I have a ton of games that I love that are my favorites, but I guess if I would just pick one that I played a lot of, there's a shield here if you want to take it.
Is it a full one?
Yeah, it's a 50.
Or not a full one, a 50?
Yeah, it's 50. Is The Witcher. And my manager is a huge fan of The Witcher, so he was all excited and he was like, oh, well, what armor did you use for the Blood and Wine, there's people over here in front of me, Northeast. What armor did you use for the Blood and Wine DLC to beat the final boss? And I was just like, I don't remember. I love this game. It's my favorite game. I've played like 500 hours of it. And then he asked me that question. I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Like I just totally blanked during my interview as to what I did during that final boss, which like to this day still bothers me. Like I think about it, I'm like, how did I not remember?
But
how?
You know how I beat the final boss in Blood and Wine? I lowered the difficulty setting.
The move of a Renaissance woman
literally,
right
that's
there.
Yeah.
What is the armor though?
So afterwards I was like, I'm gonna go load up my game and I'm gonna look because I'm so mad about this. Oh, they're behind me. Ooh, crap. No.
I'm running.
So I went and looked it up. I used the wolf armor. Pretty sure that's the one that has the crit chance. So I like that. But there's also like the cat armor, the viper armor. I'm never gonna forget these armors now. After that interview, sorry Patrick. I swear I played the game
The wolf armor girl.
many
Oh, I'm
times.
dead. This is not an easy game to play when you're being interviewed.
So
That's the whole challenge.
to give you guys a idea, we're very far away from the TV. It's split screen.
screen.
I'm sitting here like trying to look, and there's no
can't
audio. I was
see
getting
how to
hit,
get
and I
in
was
and
like,
out of
I was
this
getting hit from
boat.
behind me. I thought that was coming from in front of me.
Basically, we're like, how can we make this as hard as
Look
possible?
at these, like, yeah, they're
How
like little
about here?
pinpricks
Let's
of
do this. I'll just pull up my
players.
replays, and we can just watch my replays from games that I
Your
played.
greatest hits.
Yeah, because I swear I played this before.
I have won this game one time.
One time. Oh,
And
man.
I got it on video.
Nice.
And then I quit.
You're
I
like,
was
I'm done.
great, I'm done.
I finally did it.
I don't actually play this game solo very often. I usually play with my friends, so most of my wins are all squad wins.
Yeah. I
And
think it
would
was a
you
squad
say,
win.
like, what is like the difficulty of getting into Fortnite? Like, when you started, how long did it take for you to get good at it?
Well,
I don't think I ever got good at it.
I'm the best. No,
Number one.
I played a lot of H1Z1, like a lot, a disgusting amount considering how dead that game is now. It's like sad that I've wasted so much time. But when H1Z1 died out, I was trying to find a new game. I tried PUBG and I didn't really like it. I felt like you did like 40 minutes of looting and you just found pants and shirts and like scopes for guns you would never find, and then all of a sudden you'd be sniped from somewhere that you have no idea where. So I was like, I don't like this. And then Fortnite came out, and I'm really into like arcade type shooters and stuff, and this is like right up the alley. So I was totally into it, and I've just haven't stopped since. It became my replacement H1Z1.
Yeah, and you were just like, I like this. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to keep playing it.
Pretty much. So, and I like how it looks. Like it's like H1Z1 and PUBG and stuff to me are just like really, like I just like how colorful and cartoony this is, because I feel like it's clearer for me to see. I'm old. I'm like, so it's like H1Z1. I felt like everyone blended in with the back, and like now I play, I'm like, oh, I can actually see somebody. I shoot so much better now. I feel like these shots are more solid, so it feels good to play.
Absolutely. I think two things that stood out to me, being very adjacent to Fortnite, only maybe seen it once or twice, and sort of recently started really learning more about it, is the UI is actually pretty great, I think.
Yeah.
And then also it's just really colorful and cheerful, which I think is kind of a palate cleanser for a lot of video games, but
Everything pops. Like that's
Yeah.
what I mean when I say it's like the shots feel cleaner, because like you know where someone is, whereas like in H1Z1 people would kind of like blend in with a tree or something, and you'd be like in the bloom and everything, so you'd kind of like be like, are they hacking? Is there like latency issues? What's going on? But yeah, this I feel like it's solid, and I've really enjoyed it. And I play a lot of the Save the World as well, the PvE version of this, which I really like, and I hope that they finish the story too, and put a little more love into it, because I think it's like, it's overwhelming, I feel like, for a new player, but there's so much content in it, and you can like really build different types. Like you can be an outlander, a constructor, a soldier, and you can really like make a build that plays to your playstyle. Oh yeah, this is the healing gun.
oh man.
Yeah, I find that getting into Fortnite, like, it's such a accessible game, and it's not very high stress. Like,
No, I don't get mad. I just always like laugh because it's so ridiculous. Like you shoot somebody and they turn into like an 8-foot building. Like I
Yeah,
can't get
like-
mad at that.
Yeah, and when I say accessible, I guess I mean like it's free, and that was huge when it came
Yeah.
out. So when I had a bunch of friends that wanted to play, it was like, well, of course I'll download Fortnite. It's free. Like why wouldn't I want to
Doesn't hurt
have
to
fun with
try.
my friends? Yeah, and play this game. And it was so much less stressful to get into than like a PUBG, where I feel like I don't know, it might be the art style, it's just really intense for me. But I can appreciate people who are really good at both and love both.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Apex Legends? That's like
No,
the other big BR.
Whoa, where'd the stairs go?
Talking about latency.
Yeah. Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I didn't really get into it as much as I got into Fortnite, but I think that was just because I was working a lot and I didn't get online with my friends as much when that came out. But my roommate is an environment artist on Apex Legends.
Oh, nice.
I've seen like a lot of people posting their most played games of, I guess, the 2010s, and a lot of people actually had Apex Legends as like #1, like 700 hours, something crazy like that.
Oh, wow.
What was your most played game? Witcher, right?
Witcher for me.
Probably H1Z1. I have,
H1Z1?
or League of Legends. Actually, League of Legends.
Yeah.
I have probably about 6,000 ARAMs in League of Legends.
Wow.
That's just the ARAMs. I'm telling you, if I wasn't working, I was playing games. I've just always been like a passionate gamer, basement dweller.
Well, that's part of it, is that like, it's not just about playing games for the sake of playing it. It's relaxing, it's super fun, and I think it's also, a lot of times you don't have that quick access to something like a book, so a video game is a great way to do that. And I think I've predominantly been a single player gamer, so it's really cool to see Fortnite and see like why people get so engaged with it, because it just feels so infinite.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was working on a study with gamers versus athletes, and it was really interesting to me. She was talking about how, you know, they hooked up a bunch of athletes to, I don't know, doctor stuff. I'm not a doctor. And gamers, and like measured their brain waves and things like that, and they found that gamers actually exert the same amount of calories and energy from their brain playing games that a football player does.
Wow, that's crazy.
So you may not
Wow.
physically be active, like you're physically, but your brain
Mentally.
is like
just-
sparking just as hard as a football player is.
It's crazy you say that too, because I also hear there are studies like gaming prevents Alzheimer's, or at least the onset of it. It really helps with preventing dementia. So, gaming for your health.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I wish I had more studies like that when I did my like any kind of science class in college. So that's pretty neat to hear.
I wish I had that back when I was a kid, so I could have, my mom would have let me play games more. I was like that kid, my mom never let me have a system, she wouldn't let me play video games, that type of thing. So I was just always that like jerk friend where I was like, can I come over and play your games?
Which I think that's how I made most of my friends, honestly. It was just like Mario Kart, yay, nay.
Some of my friends, it was like, some of my friends, it was their brother's systems. So I'd be like, hey, can I come over? Is your brother home? So he's not on his Xbox.
The moment the brother comes home, evacuate.
So, do you want to hang out while I play your brother's game systems?
And I guess this is sort of related, and it's a very interesting question from the audience in terms of exerting mental energy, but does QA testing account for speedrunners? And do we leave in speedrunner tricks?
So I have a speedrunning background actually, which is I think part of the reason why I'm on the systems team, because systems does a lot of ad hocing, and that's what you speedrunners do, you ad hoc, which is pretty much just, I'm gonna go up to this wall and like, say in this game, I have this like bomb here. I would go up to a wall and just throw a bomb down while I jumped and see if it clipped me through the wall or something like that. So yeah, I do a lot of I bring up a lot of my speedrunning background, and I apply it to the Naughty Dog game that I work on.
A certain title.
Yeah, a certain title.
And I think there's also Josh is also a great speedrunner in QA, and yeah, there's a few other speedrunners here too. So.
And do we leave it in? No.
Yeah.
We don't. That's my job, is to find it and then get rid of it. Sorry. Believe me, I find really great things, and then I go, as a speedrunner, this would be amazing. Oh my God, the any percent run.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have to crush this person's dreams as I write up the bug ticket.
Well, it's also a lot of what we worked on are story-based games, so
Yes.
it comes with reasons like absorb the story.
Yeah,
These aren't really meant to be sped run.
Yeah.
But do it if you like it. We totally watch you guys when you speed run.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like.
But there's a lot of work that goes into animating and voiceovers and music, and if you are appreciative of Netflix series and things like that,
Oh no.
Oh no.
things like that,
Oh, no.
they're Northwest.
Yep.
You would appreciate the work that goes into the wonderful stories in these games.
Yeah. And I think it's, you know,
They're far away.
I think that's also a big
Oh,
thing
they're coming, though.
in
No.
Twitch is the speedrun community.
Oh,
we
you're
totally
down.
hear you guys.
Yeah, I got
and
knocked.
it's really cool. So, is there any kind of Twitch shows you like watching? Is there a preference you have when you tune in?
You mean like game-wise?
Yeah, like what kind of shows do you watch regularly?
I think it's the coming from working in film and TV, it was always like put into me like you need to always keep up with what's new, what's happening. So I do keep up with like new Netflix originals, like I watch The Mandalorian, the Disney original and stuff like that. And then game-wise, like Twitch, I usually just watch whatever I'm in the mood to watch. Been watching a lot of League of Legends streams lately, but if there's like a new game I want to try out, I'll sometimes go check it out and see. Like I was watching some streams recently for like Escape from Tarkov, which is this new game that a lot of people have been playing. So I was like, what's this? So yeah.
That one looks really cool.
Yeah, I'd say I'm always interested in seeing people's reactions to things that I already know that I like. I like to experience games for myself, so it can be kind of like hard for me to watch a stream and it's like, oh, this is new to me. Like I want to experience it myself, so I'll watch like people play games that I really like. I like watching Last of Us streams. I like watching Dragon Quest streams to see like people's reactions to a game that I worked on. I really love Life is Strange streams. Those are always the best. Seeing people react to all of the narrative decisions in those games. But yeah, I also really like an IRL stream, like where people just like go around like in their real lives, like live. And I met an IRL streamer in Hollywood one night when I was looking for Christmas gifts, and it was just like, it was a funny experience, and we ended up like talking and following each other. And now I watch like IRL streams pretty often.
I feel like IRL streams would be pretty hard compared to like standard vlogging.
Yeah, it's like you never know what's gonna
You have to
happen,
be
which is
doing-
why it's kind of
yeah.
like crazy. Like people just like stop random people on the street. It's funny, and she stopped me on the street. I was like, I'm just looking for Christmas gifts.
That's really cool. I think that's the thing too, is like LA, it's like you meet a lot
Yeah.
more people in the industry, but also YouTubers and things like that. And it's really cool to kind of be exposed and seeing people do it daily.
She was walking around with the selfie stick, and she saw me on the escalator, and I was like, I'm trying not to look at the screen like right in front of me.
I'm gonna go to the beach out here.
Oh,
I've never really been, like, I don't really cared about spoilers. I guess when I was an assistant, I was like always reading scripts, so there was a lot of stuff that I'd like read the script for like years before it'd come out. But I'd still, at the end of the day, I still am always like, oh, even if I read the script, I still want to see how they executed it.
yeah.
And like, so even if I hear or like hear someone's opinion on a game or like spoilers, I'm always like, well, I want to see how it was done. Like,
Yeah.
even if it was, oh, this was really bad, this happened, I'll be like, oh, well, let me see it myself.
Because it's about the experience. Like, no one stopped reading Harry Potter when everyone brigaded with the big spoiler of Old Man Die. So,
We were literally just talking about that yesterday in QA. We're like, Snape kills Dumbledore, page 606.
oh man. Wait, you
There's
remember the
already
page?
people.
Man, intense.
It's more that I just remember everyone spoiling it. So that quote of the page 606 is just like in my head.
And that's the thing. I think that for a lot of movies and shows, like even if they get spoiled, like Game of Thrones, we get spoiled 24/7. I still wanted to see it because they still held up.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the sign of like it's still a good show. So I definitely I don't mind spoilers because we exist in an internet age. We have to deal with it.
Yeah, my thing is like I don't feel like it's fair to be upset if you get exposed to spoilers. Like that's on you to avoid them. Like
It can be hard to avoid though.
I feel like though it's like if you're following someone's Twitter, they're not tweeting for you. They're tweeting for their own. That's
can
their
see that.
Twitter. If they're gonna tweet about a movie they saw before you, like they're allowed to do that. Like mute that term until you're ready to hear about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gone out of my way to like mute something on my social media. Like if I see it, I see it.
Yeah.
So, quick status update because you're holding a banana hammer.
Oh yes.
What is that?
So I've played this game a lot. I know that these lack of kills don't show that and represent that.
Not really helping
But I
either,
have
so.
a lot of skins. So they had a banana man and this banana pickaxe, and being that I'm banana boat, of course, I gotta go on brand and get it. But I play a lot of Save the World, so I've actually never spent any money on this game.
Yeah, you've been pretty dedicated,
where is
and you said you were like grinding, like you were playing this a lot, so that was really cool to hear.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, I downed someone, but I gotta run away.
Oh no. And I guess also there's a lot of vandalism in this game. You just get like like what are you getting out of that?
You get a bunch of mats, so you can use those for builds, and then they actually added a crafting table. This chapter, I don't know what you would want to call it, but you can now use these mats to craft upgrades for your guns. Oh my gosh. I cannot see. I think
Yeah, I
someone
couldn't
else
see
killed
that
them.
person. I
Yeah, they're-
downed one, but
Yeah,
they
but
looked like
then
they were
someone-
fighting someone else.
They were, and then those people,
And then I ran away from them.
those people downed them.
Oh, that was.
So I grew up in an age
yeah,
where
the tires.
split screen was the thing.
This is new,
So,
apparently.
this is new?
Yeah, they. I guess before you couldn't do this.
Yeah. And it kind of, I like that because it's honestly too, like that was one of the best memories growing up was playing with my brother who always would murk me and it was awful. But I think it's cool, even though it might be a little harder to see, but I think it's all about that kind of social experience like Logan, you mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. When I was growing up, my favorite split screen game to play was Medal of Honor Rising Sun with my cousins. We'd sit on like a little like 15-inch screen in my grandma's attic and just sit there for hours playing Halo 2 and Medal of Honor.
Yeah, because we didn't really have internet connection or
No.
great internet connection on like Xbox or PlayStation 2 at the time. Like it was there, but it wasn't very frequent, so split screen was necessary. And I think that was like a big part of it. And so this is kind of cool, be able to share it with someone locally. And I think there's also another question in the chat, kind of back to Life is Strange. Did either of y'all get to play Life is Strange before the storm?
Oh yeah, yes.
Logan's like, yes. Feelings, thoughts, talk.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me kill this guy. Yeah, I love Before the Storm. I am a huge Chloe Price fan. I love Rachel Amber. I love Max too, but I was just really excited that Deck 9 went back to Arcadia Bay for a prequel. I don't want to ruin Life is Strange for anyone, but the end of the first one can be a little bit of a downer. So I was just really excited that another studio was gonna revisit that world, and I love Before the Storm. So, yeah.
I've never played.
I really suggest it. I think that like it's a fun, quick play, and if you want to feel feels, a lot of feelings, all that, it's really fun. So the second one, I liked the story a lot. I really liked investigating Chloe because she was one of my favorite characters in the first. So yeah, that's my feelings. I think the first one was really cool for its gameplay too. So I think overall, play the first, play the second, treat yourself.
You've been asking us all these questions, though. What about you? Like,
Oh.
what's your day-to-day? What's your favorite thing about Naughty Dog? What have you learned since
man.
working here?
Oh, I'm in the chair. No. I think my day-to-day, I think that's like the biggest thing I love doing is getting to learn what everyone does, getting to appreciate how much goes into it. And I think one of the coolest things about Naughty Dog is if you show determination in some way, you can do it, and people will support you in figuring out better ways to do things and do all that.
Yeah, there's so much support in this
Yeah.
company. It's awesome.
I think that Naughty Dog came from roots of kind of being like a DIY, like let's figure out things and do it, because they were, I mean, since PSX, like since the first PlayStation. So I don't think that ethos has really left, and I think that's what really makes this company super unique and cool. So that's my convoluted way of saying I get to do cool things, and I get to learn from cool people who do cool things. And yeah, I think that
There's some people in front of me.
I think a big part of even joining the industry is you still have to play what's out there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a lot of time, you just need to know what's out there, play it, and get to experience it, because there might be things that inspire you or things that can really just enhance your work and make everything better. Oh my goodness, I have a request for you Witcher fans.
No.
Is it possible to get the stream team to sing Toss a Coin for Your Witcher?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know all the words, and
The only words you need to know are toss a coin your Witcher, O Valley of
have
Plenty.
been told my entire life that I can't sing.
Well,
Okay, so I'm sure you can sing. There's a difference between, like, you can sing, maybe not in tune.
I can't sing well.
But-
Okay, let's.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's what we're doing karaoke.
Okay.
so it's
Toss a
Coin
coin to your Witcher,
O
O Valley of Plenty, O Valley
yeah.
of Plenty. Oh, whoa.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
That's
I
it. That's all I'll do.
That's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I know too.
Sorry, guys.
Toss a coin.
I don't know any of the other words. Are there more?
Oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty.
The guy who sang that song in The Witcher, though, has like a great voice.
Oh yeah. If you're
Yes.
That's probably
playing,
why I feel like I don't want to sing this. I'm not going to
if
do it
you're
justice.
playing Dandelion / Jeskier,
Yeah.
you have to have a great voice.
Yeah. And I think one of the cool things about Witcher and like the Netflix reimagining is that they managed to separate themselves from the game as an experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's completely different.
I talk about that with my girlfriend all the time. Like, I am a big fan of the games, but I'm also a fan of the books, and I'm a huge Yennefer fan. Shout out to all the Yennefer fans out there.
Oh, that's rough.
And I'm just really happy that the writer is like giving her a very like coherent, cohesive storyline and really showcasing her. Truly is what she deserves.
Yeah,
Someone
like
built this, and I'm gonna knock it down.
There's two people over here by me.
I watched Witcher with someone who'd never been exposed to the game nor the books, and they loved it. And I think a big part of it is that it still feels very rooted in reality in some ways, and the casting was really fun. So
But it's also like not afraid to just be absolutely absurd and
Yeah.
like just say, yeah, like this is absurd and like deal with it. Like that's just
Yeah.
how The Witcher is. How this universe is.
you have
I thought they
Grumpy
did-
Onion Man, and come on, like y'all, come
Yeah,
on.
I
and
thought they did a great job too with the combat and like I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
just how they portrayed him was so good.
the
Person go.
stunt guy who does a lot of the combat stuff worked on Game of Thrones. He was the
Really?
Night King.
What?
Yeah, he also was the Night King. Yeah,
Like the one that, like the Night King.
the Night King.
Oh man, that's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
Wait, so did they cast the stunt guy, like he acted that too, or was it just stunts?
Acted as the Night King.
Yeah.
Yes, he
So
did
he did
both.
everything.
He was the Night King.
Man, what a renaissance man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but he got into it all by being like a stunt guy.
That's awesome.
And speaking of which, it's crazy to think that literally 1 year ago, Game of Thrones ended, and
Was it a year
so much
ago?
happened in 2019.
Oh my god.
And I know we're halfway through January, but it's like, we have to talk about that. It's so recent. Even then, what was your favorite game of 2019?
2019.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Do you have one that you can
I
think of
don't-
off the top of your head?
I honestly can't because I play so many different games that at this point I'm like, what even came out last year that I played opposed to like all the other things that I
Yeah,
keep
they all kinda run together.
playing.
Favorite game of 2019? Probably. Oh my god, I'm trying to think. We play games so much here that like I'm trying to think what I played outside of the studio.
I'll say my favorite like update of 2019 was that Stardew update.
Stardew
After
Valley?
like after years, Concerned Ape finally was like, I'm releasing a massive update. So he added a bunch of new things and like in-game quests and like just enriched more of the game for after the 3 years that you.
I think actually my favorite game that I played
Sorry.
was. I do like Death Stranding. I think that it brings something new to the table that is very different from games that I'm used to. especially with like shooting and stuff. Sorry, who's shooting at me?
That's the person who shot me.
Shoot.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
So-
I like seeing y'all. I'm trying to challenge you. Like, can we get you to talk and concentrate at the same time?
Yeah,
We'll
Death
see.
Stranding.
Yeah.
Was Spider-Man
Oh, Spider-Man.
2019?
Oh yeah.
Was it 2019?
Either way, Spider-Man.
The year was-
Spider-Man and Jedi
Yeah.
Fallen Order. I'm slightly biased because my roommate was a part of both of them, and we played a lot of those in our apartment.
I think I played a ton of Spider-Man last year. I was borderline obsessed. Did anyone get to play Disco Elysium?
I
No.
personally did not.
It's coming out for multi-system. I'm really excited so that more people get to experience. There's a lot of people at Naughty Dog who loved the game. I got to play, love it, so strongly suggest, 10 out of 10. Such a cool game. I don't want to say too much about it because honestly, just experience it.
Oh, shoot.
play
I wasn't
it.
paying attention.
Rave reviews. And I think I also did with 2019 Fire Emblem, which
Yeah.
I
I've sunk
play
so
that
many
one.
hours into that. What else? There was so much. I feel like I kind of whizzed by. Indivisible was actually pretty cool if you
Okay.
wanted an RPG. That was by an indie developer. And that one, it's really interesting RPG mechanics. So strongly suggest that. Yeah, it's like almost like there was so much that came out that I wanted to play.
There is.
Yeah.
It's crazy too to see how different like just the gaming community and the industry is. It's like grown so much where I feel like years ago there'd be like a game dev, you'd have like 5 game companies that you'd know were making games and they'd push out maybe like 2 a year or something like that. Now it's like there's like 100 game companies and each one is like pushing out all these different games and it's just like
Yeah.
There's a lot to keep up with.
yeah, it's not that it's like even oversaturated. There's like so many good things
Yeah.
too. Like I go through Steam, especially like during the winter sale. I was going through and I was like, oh, just looking at all the stuff. You know, there's pages and pages and pages and pages of games, and I'm
And
like,
you've
but
heard-
each one looks so good.
And you've
I've heard of
someone,
like most
yeah,
of
you've
them.
heard people like suggest all of them, and you're like,
Yes.
okay, but like, which one do I start with?
Yeah.
I already have so many games on my Steam that I haven't even downloaded that I need to play.
I think, so now that I had time to collect myself and think about it, Outer Worlds
Yeah.
was a big one for me.
Another one. See, there.
You're just like, I don't need more to
I'm
my
like, I
list.
played so much last year,
Yeah.
but then now
Yeah.
you're listing more. I'm like, and I still
like,
haven't
stop.
played enough. Like, can't
I
keep
still
up.
have to play. I have yet to play Outer Worlds. And it's hard for me to think of a lot of games this year because I'm still stuck playing Red Dead. Like I'm
Yeah.
still like
I haven't
not
played Red Dead
stuck.
either.
It's just like yeah, I want to enjoy it. I waited so long for that game that I take it so slowly. I'm like, oh, let me just go brush my horse and like do all these like little things, and maybe I'll do a like actual mission here or there. But yeah, I'm savoring that one. And then I go out and play other games every once in a while, but I always come back to that one right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about Red Dead. It's like so infinitely playable. So I guess kind of on that note, like what you played and what you know, enjoyed, is there anything outside of work that you do that you'd want to shout out, or you have, like, what do you do outside of work? Audience question, by the way.
What I do outside of work. I play golf a lot. I don't know
Oh,
if I can
nice.
shout that out. I played golf
That's
in
really cool.
college, Division I at Loyola Chicago. Played for the first time in a while this weekend. Almost threw out my back. A little a bit older. I just am not used to it anymore. I play ice hockey. I haven't played as much
nice.
recently. Gonna try and get back into that. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything to shout out specifically though.
I think being Division I golf and doing a really great
Yeah,
job is a
yeah.
big thing. So, Ashley,
I told you I'm a basement dweller. If I'm not working, I'm playing games. I stream on Twitch usually, and if I'm not streaming, I'm just playing games off stream. That's pretty much it. I have a dog, so like sometimes, you know, we do stuff together. That's fun.
oh man, I think that's worth shouting out. Shout out to all the dogs.
I know. I wish I could bring him to work. Shout out to Nanook. He's my good boy.
No,
So-
that's cute.
I'm sad to say, I have to stop grilling you, and we have to stop playing Fortnite.
Oh.
We're reaching the very end of our stream.
an
Is this a good
hour?
time to stop, or do we need a?
We're
We-
dropping.
Yeah,
I
we're about to
mean,
drop in, boys. No, but
maybe-
we can
We can stop.
we can stop at any point.
Hey, we got 9th that last time.
We
Yeah.
did.
That wasn't as
And
bad.
we started actually getting kills.
Yeah.
So let's go on for just a little bit longer. Is everyone cool with that? Awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
we're gonna-
let's
we're
do one
going
more
for it.
round, and then we gotta do our little sign off. But
That sounds
thank
good.
y'all so much. Like, this is really cool. It's also cool to see someone playing it who's adept at it. It gives me.
Kind of.
No, I'm really.
I
happy.
need a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
I
I
told
want
you
to be
this.
I want to be this decent at games like this, but so it's really cool to just like watch people I get to work with and talk with regularly get to play an awesome game like this.
Yeah, and it's always like surprises me. Well, we kind of talked about it a little bit off stream, but I mean, just like people who hate this game so much, and it's like, why would you hate stuff other people enjoy? And like you can't say like, oh, it sucks. Like, why? Like, you have to have like good reasoning. Just because it's popular, you don't like that it's popular, and like. There's lots of really cool things about this game. It's really fun for what it is, and like they did like really blow up, and you can't deny that. And like that's something that you can commend, like from a production standpoint. Like they created something that's like super popular and resonated with a lot of people, and changed a lot of things and put a lot of streamers on the map and stuff like that. And it's like,
I think for me, it's that they created something that was accessible for like a lot of kids who like might not have been able to afford other games, and then this blew up and was
Yes.
popular, and it was like it's free.
yeah,
Like that's insane, and
it's like borderline a AAA game. I wouldn't go that far, just still in early access, but it's free and it's not $60
And it's fun.
and it's fun,
It's fun.
and it's solid too. Like,
oh, if I'm talking solid game mechanics, it's Fortnite. Like
yeah,
And I think also from a perspective of growing up, all shooters or battle royale games or any kind of games like these were generally adult oriented. Like, they were games that most moms wouldn't buy for their kids because they see grown man with gun, bad. I think this is a way for a broader audience to get to engage and enjoy a game of this style. And I think, I don't know, there's merit in that. I think that is something that's really important, especially as you know, you don't want to wait years before you can play certain games or engage with certain themes or even types of gameplay. So I
And
can
like-
see the value of this for sure.
something that they do that I think is really cool that I don't know what other games do that is like live events. That's something new that they've brought to gaming, where you drop in, like they just did the Star Wars event, and like J.J. Abrams was live, like speaking through a microphone with like a mocap suit on, and so his character in game was like representing him live as he was talking, and then they showed like a special preview scene from the new movie before it came out, and they did another event like that too, where they were right before this chapter changed. They had like a massive fight between this like mecha and like a dinosaur, and like you can drop in, and everyone just got to watch it happen and stuff. And it was like you have to drop in at this specific moment, otherwise you miss it because it's a live event. And I think like that's different and really neat.
and
Yeah.
the Thanos thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the
I remember
Thanos stuff,
that.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
sort of
and
the
that
cool thing.
Thanos mode was hilarious too. Like,
Please tell.
you like one person becomes Thanos when you collect all the stones, and then you're just like beast mode, like have all the shield, extra health, and you can like jump around and like power dive on people. Oh, where is that?
That's amazing. They did that like all for Avengers.
Yeah,
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Where is that?
He was behind. Oh shoot! Okay, other way.
Oh, there's
All right.
rip.
Oh no.
R.I.P.
Rest in
It was
peace.
two.
Thank you guys
Or
so
there wasn't
much.
two, there's one.
I'm your biggest fan. Thank you so much.
You'll have to do this again sometime.
Oh, please. I would love to. any
Maybe
day.
every Wednesday at
Yes,
11.
every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, the Naughty Dog stream. Thank you so much, Logan, and thank you so much, Ashley. Y'all have been such a pleasure. It feels like just super fun. I get to hang out one morning and get to play a game that I don't honestly have as much exposure, and now I'm probably going to end up playing, honestly.
And I
This
hope
was
you
really
guys
cool.
had fun too, listening to us
Yeah, listening
Yeah.
to us
Chat.
ramble about
Yeah.
our lives.
about games, work, which
Yeah.
is our lives.
Our lives. Good lives. And so with that, I also want to thank Sam, Grant, and Scott for running the behind the scenes. If I was ever pointing behind the cameras, that's who I'm talking to. Thank you so much, Scott, for moderating today. And I would also love to thank the people who tuned in. We really appreciate it. And we always enjoy seeing your comments in the stream, and your questions are always great. Check us out on both Twitch and YouTube Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. If we have an alternate date, definitely follow our socials and we'll make announcements on our upcoming streams. Sometimes we'll celebrate anniversaries or big events, so that's something to always consider. Next week, January 22nd, we will be playing Crash Team Racing, and that is going to be a super, super fun game to play. YouTube, Twitch, like, subscribe, and follow so you can see when we go live. And also, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week.
We need a change, look at the world that we live. Look how the evil is grown, all the innocence lost. We need a new beginning, man, the vision is off. We need